Welcome to The Leap with Japa, the podcast that bridges continents and connects stories. Join us as we dive into the vibrant world of international education, explore diverse cultures, and share the extraordinary journeys of students far from home. Whether you're dreaming of studying abroad or already embarking on this adventure through other means, Leap with Japa is your companion in navigating the exciting, challenging, and transformative world of global education. Let's leap into today's episode. Hello everyone. It's been a little while that I last connected on Leap with Japa with all of you. And I've actually thoroughly missed all of you. There's a reason why, and that's the reason why we're doing this. I've been working on some exciting projects, and I can't wait to share some of it with you. I hope you have all been doing well, especially those of you navigating life as international students or professionals in new environment. There's so much happening in tech and creative worlds. And today, I want to bring you into the loop with some big shifts that are transforming the way we work. So in today's episode is going to be like a different angle to it. So, you know, I set up this podcast to help international students navigate the whole career thing. International students and then, work. But there's also life after school and there is life when you are in work. So this episode is one of those episodes to highlight what I have been doing. So one of the hallmarks of this podcast is I'm going to be talking about things that I've been doing, which is going to give you a trajectory of what most people's lives would look like as international students and as they progress in their career or in life. And today is one of such episodes. So there's going to be a lot more episodes like this. And today's episode, I'm diving specifically into the fascinating world of AI. Specifically how it's becoming the de facto tool for writing code, for content creation, and for productivity. And if you've been paying attention to the trends, you've probably noticed that AI is no longer just a buzzword. It's becoming an essential part of how we work and create. Whether you are writing code, producing content, managing projects, AI can help you work faster, smarter, and more creatively. So that is the major thing. It's something that has eclipsed my life. So for me, these have been game changers. I started out with ChatGPT, I think it was December of 2021 when they first launched, and it blew my mind. It felt like finally my searches could have context to them. I no longer needed to create blank searches and then create the context afterwards. Now I have a tool that can help me do that. And that, I remember that spurred, that journey. And then I got into doing stuff with large language models that generated pictures. So I got into Midjourney, got very excited about Midjourney, set up a business around Midjourney and things like that. So I've been really, really into the mix of AI for at least a better half of this year. And I'm currently using a mix of AI tools. And part of this episode is just to tell you what I've been doing with these tools and what you should also consider as something that you should do with these tools. So I have a mix of tools. So I've been using Claude AI, I've been using V0, I've been using ChatGPT, and I've been using Cursor AI. Now they have significantly boosted my productivity. I'm saying I can right now work at about 3,000 to 5,000% more efficient than I used to. So each of these tools have its strengths. I want to work with you through how each of them has helped me grow in my own work. So whether you're an international student looking to break into tech or a creative professional trying to streamline your process, AI can help you do more with less. So, but that's not all. I've also been working or hard at work at developing new tools that use AI to help people in the film industry. I've got one tool that helps filmmakers generate complete movie synopses, so that's one thing I've been working on. I've got another one that actually generates movie posters from the synopsis. So I have a tool where you select 1 or 2 movies or 3 movies, and then it will generate a synopsis for you. I did one that could do movie poster. So in this episode, I'm going to cover a few things. I'm going to talk about AI changing the way we code and create, give you a sneak peek into the tools I'm developing, and also share updates on my existing projects like Remindlify, a tool that I built to help creators manage event reminders efficiently. I would also dive into Narralize, which is a new venture, a new tool inspired by NotebookLM. I've been using that very, very effectively, and my push to integrate local languages into these tools. So whether you're a developer, a filmmaker, a student trying to balance work and study, I think you'll find today's episode packed with insights. AI is moving fast, and it's important that we stay on top of it. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's jump into it. So I call this segment 1. I call it AI as the new coding agent. So let's kick things going. AI as a coding agent is brilliant. I'm talking it can build everything for you. So it's no longer just a futuristic concept. It's here, and it's becoming default tools for developers and creators alike. So whether you are writing code or brainstorming new ideas, AI can help you streamline your workflow. And get this, you can get more done in less time. And the best part, it's accessible to anyone who is willing and able to use it. So we're at a point where AI isn't just an optional add-on. If you want to stay competitive in today's tech landscape, learning how to work with AI tools is crucial. It's like learning a new language that will soon become essential for many industries, especially for those of us in coding, data, and creative fields. Think of AI as a productivity multiplier. It helps you focus on the bigger picture by taking care of the repetitive or complex task. So let me walk you through some of the tools that have personally helped me improve. I currently use a few tools. I've mentioned Claude AI, VO, ChatGPT, and Cursor AI. Each have its own strengths. Let me walk you through how everything works for me. First is Claude AI. What I love about Claude is how it helps me generate creative ideas. I use this alongside ChatGPT. ChatGPT is very generic. I think of ChatGPT as a tool that has a master's degree in multiple fields, and it's able to dig down. It depends on the models. There are models that have PhD-like abilities, but that's why I like ChatGPT. But there's one thing I don't use ChatGPT for. I don't use it to write code. It's good. I know it's better now, but before it got better, I found out Claude was incredibly very good at writing code. So that's what I started doing. I started using Claude to generate coding templates. It could write code for hours and for hours, and it's very, very good. Then I discovered Cursor AI. It's been a great tool. I use Cursor AI particularly to drum up the complete code requirement for everything that I need to do. So it's able to write the code. It's having a pair programmer with you in your IDE, and then you can discuss your coding ideas. One of the things I found out with with Cursor is it's not always accurate, but it gets the job done. We're able to discuss, we're able to brainstorm. I've had instances where I had to go back to an old repo because it gave me erroneous code, but it's very, very good. It's at the level of a mid-level programmer. So it's able to give you very good insight, but your insight, it's only as good. The insight it gives you is only as good as the prompts you give it. Then you have V0. V0 is absolutely mind-blowing. Now with V0, you don't even need to learn how to write code. You simply give it what you want. So an example, you could go to V0 today and say, I want a landing page that does X and Y, and it would integrate every single thing for you, plus the backend, plus Stripe and everything. And all you need to do is hit deploy and you have a full live code. Brilliant. These are the tools. Of course, there's also ChatGPT. It's what I use to brainstorm my ideas. So if I want to do domain names, it will do research for me. It's like my secretary. Like, hey, here you go. I want you to do this for me, and it will just go figure it out for you. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Those are the tools that I have been using. So overall, these tools have brought something unique to my workflow. By incorporating them into my everyday tasks, I've been able to increase my productivity. I just focus on the problem solving, and I take on more ambitious projects. So one of the things that I've started to do is my recent quest is a project every month. And we haven't been talking, I haven't been releasing episodes since August. So August, September, and October, I have done a combined total of at least, give or take, 6 projects. So that's the plan. So I'll talk about one of the first one, which is the movie synopsis generator. So I came up with this when I had a meeting with my neighbor, who is a movie producer. And this is essentially just a tool, a web page, just one web page, where you can select whether you want to generate synopsis based on movies, or you want to generate synopsis based on TV series. And the tool then allows you to select the movies you want, and it would essentially pick 2 movies or 3 movies, and you can select the theme that you want, and it will generate you a whole synopsis. So your input is going to be the name of the title of the movies. It sends it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is able to look at those movies, able to generate the synopsis of those movies because it can search the internet. And it's able to create a blended material for you. That way, it kind of helps you with writer's block and everything. That tool is currently being presented in South Korea, Busan, South Korea, to a set of A-list producers who are testing this out to see if it's capable of doing things. So that's one of the first things that I've been able to do with that. So what are the tools that I used for this? I used ChatGPT initially to come up with what the structure would look like. I used Claude to build all the internals plus the UI, and I used Netlify to host everything. So it's a free service that is hosted somewhere. The user interface, I'm a very bad user interface designer, so the user interface was developed by Claude. I didn't write any of the user interfaces, and then the whole programming tool was done by Claude. So that was my first initial foray into it. And one of the things that I did with that, so I did movie synopsis. I was also able to do one that generates a full movie script. So you would give it the synopsis, and it was able to generate an entire story from the synopsis. And what you essentially do is you give it how many minutes you want the movie to be. You can give it if it's 45 minutes, 90 minutes, and by industry standard, 1 minute of audio or 1 minute of dialogue in a movie is equal to 1 page. So a 90 minutes movie, it's actually 90 pages. And it was able to do that. It's not been tested right now because it takes a lot of time to build an iterative ChatGPT process, because ChatGPT has to be fed newer data from the previous one that's generated. So that's still in the works. Great tool. It works flawlessly. According to the movie producer, we were able to produce a synopsis from the movies of one of his friends from 2 of his movies, and he said this movie was very, very good. So if you're a creative writer and you want access to those tools, let me know. I'll give you access to those tools. They are actually free of charge, and you can use that right now. So that's one of the things that we did. It's called a movie synopsis generator. So what's the second one? The second one that is actually also in production is I decided to try my hands on image generation, combining text and image generation. And one of the things that I did was I was able to then take the synopses that these movies generate, that the previous tool generated. And it was then able to pick all the characters. I then send the characters to replicate.com, the backend service, which is a very great text to image generation that has API access. One of the things I couldn't do with Midjourney was because Midjourney did not have API access. With Replicate, I was able to send data to the backend, and then I was able to generate brilliant images that reflect the synopsis with the title and everything. That is also being tested right now. It's been a great tool in South Korea. One of the things in today's competitive entertainment industry is visual representation is key. You really need to quickly get across the imagery of your movies to your audiences as quickly as possible. And one of the things that inspired this again was my neighbor, who is a movie producer, who says it's a big industry, that you have people that go around film festivals with that have synopses, but they don't have imagery to go with their synopsis, and they develop these tools for them on the fly at these movie festivals. So a movie festival is a place where movie producers go to source for new material and buy rights to new movies. So that's why it's a big deal. So let's move on to another project. So this next project was done in the month of September. So the first two projects were really projects I did in August. This project I'm talking about next, it's called Remindlify. So my wife is a content creator. She's on YouTube. If you are interested, the YouTube channel is her name, Miriam Adepoju. Look her up. She has tons of videos. And one of the things that she does every month is she hosts a masterclass. And in that masterclass, she gets about 60 to 80 people sign up. It's a free masterclass. Well, it's not a masterclass. It's like a precursor to a masterclass. A lot of people come on her masterclass, on her class. And the aim of that is to try and get people that would want to pay for her masterclass. So one of the things that she does is that she has to always send reminders to these people to come attend this class. And she's looked for places where, I need to remind these people a month from now. I need to remind these people an hour from now, a week from now. And then I said, hey, what if I built you a tool that allowed you to essentially capture the details of the people coming to your events. So you would have a place where you can send them a link and they would sign up for your event. And then the moment they sign up, at the back end of the service, I would help you automate the sending of the reminders to these people without you having to do it again. And she accepted. She's like, why not? I'm not paying for it. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to pay for it. It's going to be free. So I built Remindlify as the very first tool. It's currently live. It's www.remindlify. So remind, remindlify.com. And the essence of Remindlify is that content creators who want to reduce no-shows can simply go in there and create their events. They create an event, it generates an event link for them, and it generates a QR code for them. You can then share these links to the people who would want to attend your events. And then when they sign up with their name, last name, email address. The system on the back end is then able to schedule the emails automatically. So I have a back-end system. I use SQLite for the database, so everything is on SQLite. Front end was built in pure HTML5 and CSS. I used Claude for some of the UI, and it was about this period that I discovered V0. So V0 was able to come up with beautiful graphics. Didn't have to write any HTML code. And then that's the front end. And then having that front end, and then had a middleware. So you'd have, you can schedule, you can create events, and then you can send, it generates a unique link for you can send out. And then on the back end, I use resend.com, which is an email service that has an API access to it. So for every single time someone registers, I put everything in a database, and then I schedule a cron job that runs every hour to check which emails need to be sent out. And what I'm guaranteeing is once the person registers, she would not need to go back and send them reminder emails anymore. So I send 3 reminders. I send one a day before, I send one an hour before, and I send one 15 minutes to the event, so that you can reduce the number of no-shows to the event. She's currently testing that for her next event, which is at the end of October, and I'm hoping that there'll be positive feedback, and then we're going to release that. I am looking to charge between $19.99 to $24.99 every month for unlimited events, unlimited people. So it's not something that I'm going to put a tier into. So that's still ongoing. It's currently live right now. So that's that was the September project. Moving on to October. In October, so while that was going on, I got bored again, and I realized, well, I think I can be doing a project every month. So my idea now is to build a micro SaaS tool every month for as long as I can. So month of October, I was introduced to this tool called NotebookLM. Beautiful tool. I absolutely love the tool. And one of the things I noticed, so what does NotebookLM do? NotebookLM, essentially, you can put in any material, audio, video, and it would generate a beautiful 2-type person podcast discussion over the material. It was mind-blowing because I then used it to generate podcast audio discussions over my previous episodes of this podcast, and I made that into a YouTube channel. Absolutely mind-blowing. It's going on very well, so people are listening to it. And then it occurred to me, this only generates audio in English right now. The tool itself is in beta. It's not production ready. They're still testing. And this has now inspired me for my October project. And it's called Narralize, from Narralize. And it's a tool that converts written content into podcast style audio. So think about it this way. You're a content creator. You create newsletters for people. But most of these newsletters are in English. And I then thought about the idea, what if I built a tool that allowed you to summarize your newsletter, not in English, of course you can do it in English, but in other languages. And then you're able to post that as part of your newsletter. You're going to be able to reach a wider audience. So Narralize is currently being developed. I've currently have 1 or 2 partners that I'm working with. It's able to translate into 32 languages. And essentially what you have is when you log in, you have a bunch of credits that you get. And then you can upload a PDF. Right now it's just PDF. And then you can select the languages that you want. So I've done it in French, German, Spanish, Arabic, Portuguese, and it then generates the audio for you. You then have an audio file that you can download and include as part of your subscription. So say, for example, you are a content creator that does newsletters in English, only English, but you want to reach the Brazilian Portuguese speakers, or you want to reach Spanish speakers or French speakers. You can essentially still release the newsletters, but then underneath you have a link to an audio file that essentially is a podcast summary in another language of your content. It's worked well for someone that does newsletters in the oil and gas industry. We've done it in Portuguese and German. It's brilliant. You can also summarize in English if you want to. Users will purchase credits every month. Every month you can get, there's a particular amount you would pay. I'm still trying to finalize how much that would be. You'd get 300 credits. 1 credit is equal to an hour of, 1 credit is equal to 1 minute of audio. That's the plan right now. And the aim is I intend to integrate local languages. So I'm working on integrating Swahili and Yoruba so that we can have most of these very complicated newsletters that can reach the people that don't speak English. So an example that came up to my mind is, imagine you could get the budget of a country condensed into what someone else can understand. So that's the idea. So these projects represent just a glimpse of what AI can do when applied creatively. Whether it's helping filmmakers generate ideas, ensuring events run smoothly, or making audio content more accessible, AI is at the center of it all. I'm excited to keep pushing these tools forward and see how they can help others in their creative journey. So I'm going to probably be talking every month about the projects I'm working on. So I'm currently trying to finalize Narralize. I'm currently trying to build scale into it. So right now it works as a standalone application, but what happens when you have multiple people using it? So I'm trying to build scale into it. So I have to solve a lot of infrastructure scaling problems. However, that said, with Cursor, I don't have that problem. With Cursor, I just have a discussion with it, and we're able to optimize the code in real time. My preferred coding stack is Node.js for the backend. I'm using Postgres for the database. I'm also using HTML5 CSS for the design, and that's it. That's my computing stack. I'm doing everything on DigitalOcean, so I'm using Droplets. Cost me about $6 a month for the servers, about $15 a month for the database backend servers. So that's what I'm currently, fine tuning right now. So once I finish that, I'm going to release that to a list of content creators who might want to create their content. Everyone gets 10 free credits when they join, and I should release that very soon to the populace so people can start using it. So as I come to the end of this episode, let me quickly recap what we've covered today. We started by discussing the growing importance of AI as a new coding agent and why it's crucial for all of us to start embracing these tools. I shared how AI tools like Claude AI, V0, ChatGPT, and Cursor AI have helped me become more productive and creative in my own work. We've also explored the exciting AI-driven projects I'm currently developing, from the movie synopses tool to the movie poster generators to Remindlify and Narralize. Each of these tools showcases the power of AI in automating, enhancing, and streamlining creative process. Personally, AI has been a game changer for me, both in terms of productivity and creativity. It's allowed me to take on more projects and focus on what truly matters, innovating and building things that can make quick impact, real impact. The more I integrate AI into my workflow, the more I see its potential to revolutionize industries from filmmaking to event management and content creation. If you haven't already, I encourage you to explore AI tools I mentioned today. Start small, maybe by using ChatGPT to help with your next coding project, or try out AI-generated content for your creative work. You'll be surprised how much time and effort you can save and how much you can achieve. And for all the creators, developers, and students out there, don't wait until AI becomes a necessity. Start learning now so that you can stay ahead of the curve. Whether you're working on a film, building an app, or planning an event, AI can be your secret weapon. Looking ahead, I'm excited to bring you more insights and updates on these projects as they evolve. In future episodes, I will dive deeper into how these tools are being used in real-world scenarios. I will share success stories from people who benefited from them and explore new trends in AI and tech. Also, keep an ear out for some special guests I'll be having on the show. We'll be talking about how AI is influencing their work and what the future of creative industries look like. Before we close, remember, no matter where you are on your journey, whether you're an international student, a creator, or someone just exploring new opportunities, AI is here to help you succeed. The tools are there and it's up to you to make the most of them. So keep learning, keep building, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. As always, I would like to hear from you. What AI tools have you been using? What are you working on? And how can these tools help? drop me a message, reach out on social media, and if you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to share it with someone who could benefit from it. Thank you so much for tuning into Leap with Japa today. It's been a pleasure catching up, and I'm excited to keep this conversation going. Until next time, stay curious, stay creative, and keep leaping forward. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Leap with Japa. I hope it brought you valuable insights and stories that resonate with your journey. If you have any thoughts to share, questions, or want to send a voice note with your feedback, please visit our website at leapwithjapa.io. You will find a contact from there. I would love to hear from you and feature your voice in a future episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform, some of which are Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Player FM. Your subscriptions and reviews help us grow and reach more listeners, and I truly appreciate each one of them. Also, check out our merch store on leapwithjapa.io website for some cool t-shirts and hoodies, perfect for showing your support for the show. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll dive even deeper into the experiences and challenges of international education and careers. Until then, keep leaping forward, and thanks again for being part of the Leap with Japa community.